It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Good morning and welcome to the Travel and Cruise Industry News Podcast on this, the 23rd day of October, 2023, coming to you from Bedford County, Virginia, in the Central Virginia area. And I see Hot Air Tom is watching us from the Intercontinental Hotel in Manhattan. Sweet. Big time stuff there. All right, we got a bunch of stuff to cover this morning. First of all, the headlines for today: crew member overboard. We got a weather update and a bunch of itinerary changes that happened over the weekend and today. The Cozumel Beach Club increasing their prices. A Carnival guest assaulted, and a diesel spill from a ferry, and lots more here at 11 o'clock today. Today is a very important day on the calendar, folks. This is National Boston Cream Pie Day. That's that ranks right up there for me with like coconut pie, right up at the top of my list. So yeah, I can definitely handle that. I've got a bunch of errands to run today. I may go try to find me a Boston cream pie. If you're listening via the podcast, welcome aboard. You can always access the podcast via my blog, which is accessadventure.net, or wherever you get your podcasts from. Just search for Travel and Cruise Industry News. All the big hitters, they all have it. And up pops the Fat Travel Guy. We do this Monday through Friday, most weeks. And then if anything major happens on Saturday and Sunday, I'll likely go live again. Anytime you're listening via the podcast and want to jump over to the video feed to check out pictures or clips or interviews or whatever I'm using on that day show, there's always a link in the description so you can access the video feed. All right, getting to the important stuff for this morning. Wednesday show, not tomorrow, but Wednesday is canceled. There will be no show on Wednesday. That's a travel and sail away day for me. I'll be leaving here about 2:30 in the morning on Wednesday, driving to Richmond. And flying out, I think my flight's 7:40 or something like that. I don't remember. I got to check it. But anyway, flying out of Richmond to Brooklyn. I've had to do some checking up there at JFK to get accessible transportation over to the Red Hook cruise port. And I'll be getting on the MSC Meraviglia. This will be my third cruise on the Meraviglia. And sailing, 11, 12 days? 12 nights, I think it is. But anyway, when I'm back on the air on Thursday, will be a day at sea. And then Friday, we go into Port Canaveral. And I'm hoping to go find that restaurant that Katie and Angela took me to when I was down there. When was that? Last spring? I don't know. Anyway, they came over and met me for lunch. And it was a lovely place. And I have to look up the name of it because you think I can remember that? No. But anyway, that's probably what I'll do in Port Canaveral rather than, go do something fancy. I'd love to go to the Exploration Tower, but I think it's still closed from remodeling. So, all right. So this is my bouncing baby boy, whom I call the Unabomber. Where is it? There it is. That's the bouncing baby boy, and that's the new lady friend, Karen. And he's down on the river in Louisville. They went on the paddle wheeler for a dinner cruise or cocktail cruise or something. Anyway, the reason that I'm putting Jason's picture up is because he just got confirmation that he's been added as a speaker to the National New Media Conference in Abu Dhabi in United Arab Emirates. That'll be in November 13th to the 16th. Of course, my only comment was be careful with the camels over there. They spit. But anyway, this will be actually the 10th country that Jason has spoken in. So he's spoken at every major conference on social media and PR and marketing and influence marketing in the United States for the last, 10, 12 years. But this will be his 10th country that he's spoken in. So that's actually pretty cool. Sorry, I'm not in United Arab Emirates to go listen to him. I have done that before. If you haven't done so already, folks, smash that thumbs up button. That helps the channel out tremendously. Let's see where some of the family is today. You got Johnny performing over there in Bangkok with the girls. That's Johnny Quinlan, of course. That's Katie's cousin, by the way. Johnny. I'm not sure if what he's doing there. But anyway, he's in Bangkok. That would be my co-ambassador, Sylvia, who is in Scotland, and that's at Edinburgh Castle. She fought all that bad weather this weekend, but it looks like decent weather there in Edinburgh. This would be Tanya. Tanya is in Bermuda, and I guess they rode the train around where the train is in. I guess that's in, I'm not sure which town that's in Bermuda. But anyway, that's Tanya. I did hear from Elizabeth. This was in Salerno a couple days ago. And she did say that that's a McDonald's in Salerno. And she just wanted to rest assured that no, she didn't take her vegan butt in a McDonald's, nor did she go to a Mexican joint there in Salerno. She instead had a salad someplace. Anyway, yeah, the vegans have trouble some with fast food restaurants. I can understand that. This is Rochelle out in Vegas. That's the Sphere. Our buddy Sharon, who I love her dog, Sharon rode the Tron, the Tron. That's down there in Orlando. And it's it looks like a motorcycle roller coaster. I mean, that's what it looks like. The way you're bent over there. I'm not sure I'd want to do a roller coaster on that kind of setup. That's more my speed. You can see the Magic Castle there in the background. That I might do that one, but that roller coaster business ain't gonna happen. Now I thought this was really some neat stuff. This is from Bubba. Bubba, of course, is on the Volendam. This was their solo meetup. And that's a pretty good group of solos for a 57-night cruise. I mean, I thought that was just awesome. Let's see what else we got here. Oh my God, this is Janine playing polo at the Tedworth Park Polo Club. I got to get her on here. Not only was she belly dancing in Valley Eye or wherever the hell she was out in the Pacific, she gets home and she's playing polo. Unbelievable. Antonio and Steve in Puerto Vallarta, they're not on the cruise. They went down there. They live in New Jersey, right in Bayonne, actually. they flew down and are spending like a month in Puerto Vallarta, which is awesome. Michael and Donna are still over in Italy. And this is the Santa Maria del Grazie convent. And of course, that's the Last Supper. Why did I think the Last Supper was like in a museum someplace? It's not a convent. It's a mural on the wall. Obviously, my art history education is lacking. But with everything that's going on this weekend and today, the Misbehaving Award has to go to none other than Cindy and the girls. Of course, they're on a girls' night cruise. And I can promise you, there have been multiple adult beverages involved since probably 3 days before they got on the boat. They're on the Mardi Gras, by the way. They're painting the Mardi Gras red. And all four of them have been known to imbibe on occasions now. I'm not, making any negatory comments, but that's, and there was a really nice sunset on from the Mardi Gras. And then, of course, after dark, they go out and misbehave some more. So that's Cindy and the girls on the Mardi Gras. I love them. All right. We got to start off with the top story today is on updating everybody on the weather. And then we're going to get to some cancellations and stuff. But and a major drastic change. This is the map from early this morning. Tammy is turning northward. Heavy rain still occurring over parts of the Leeward Islands. She's about 230 miles north-northwest of Anguilla. Maximum sustained winds are 80. Present movement is to the north at 10. Pressure is 993 millibars. A turn toward the northeast or northeast or northeast is expected to begin later today and continue into Thursday. Some slight strengthening is possible during the next couple days, followed by some weakening. But here's the problem, folks. That's talking about the next couple days, but if you extend this out, it's going to take a big major turn to the right and be heading right back toward the States and Bermuda. This wasn't in the forecast over the weekend. I mean, that's come up today. I mean, I'm going to be sailing right down through there too. So we're going to have to watch this one just to see, how fast, if it speeds up, when it makes this turn. Who knows? But I saw that this morning and I said, whoa, man, that's certainly a change. That could affect some Bahamas stuff, East Coast stuff. Of course, sailing's out of New York, where I'm going to be. Oh, well, it still happens this time of year. Then in the Pacific, first in the Atlantic, down, there's shower and thunderstorms. They're showing signs of organization. Low pressure system over the southwestern Caribbean Sea. Environmental conditions appear to be favorable for development, and a short-lived tropical depression could form before the system moves inland over Nicaragua, maybe tomorrow. Regardless of development, the system could produce heavy rains over portions of Central America during the next couple of days. And of course, that's where I'm eventually heading on this cruise. I'm going on. 60% chance in the next 48 hours, 60% chance over the next 7 days. So I could be in trouble on my cruise. Now, on to the Pacific. Norma is still hanging. She's now weakened to a tropical depression, but still a major threat for localized heavy rainfall and flooding. Currently, she's 60 miles west-southwest of Culiacan, Mexico. Sustained winds are down to 35. She's moving east at 7. Pressure is 998. The center of Norma is forecast to move inland along the coast of the Mexican state of Sinaloa this morning. Little change in strength is expected before Norma reaches the coast. Weakening and dissipation is anticipated once she moves ashore. Now, on down south of that, we have Otis, which is a newly named storm. Otis will approach the southern coast of Mexico by midweek. A tropical storm watch is issued for a portion of the coast of southern Mexico. Currently, she's about 425 miles south-southeast of Acapulco. Sustained winds are 45 miles an hour. She's moving north at 5, pretty slow. Pressure is 1,002. The center of Otis will be approaching the southern coast of Mexico late tomorrow and into Wednesday. Some gradual strengthening is forecast during the next couple of days. We're just going to have to watch this one. All right, guys. I'll be back with the news after a quick break from one of our network sponsors. All right, first of all, on the news portion of things today, actually, I didn't want to do that one first, but I'll have to back up to it. Search operations are underway in the English Channel for an overboard crew member from the AIDAperla cruise ship. The incident occurred yesterday. At the time, the large cruise ship was off Ramsgate, located about 20 miles north of the southeast coast. A spokesman for AIDA said the captain and crew of the AIDAperla had, quote, immediately initiated all necessary rescue measures in close coordination with the local authorities, end quote. However, it has been reported to Chillie's Cruises that there was a 2.5-hour time period between when the crew member went overboard and when the ship finally turned around and went back to begin search and rescue efforts. AIDA's information was inconsistent with this report. She stayed on duty, as it were, briefly, for maybe an hour or so, the source said, before turning around and heading on to its cruise. They were supposed to be in La Coruna today at noon, their time. She hasn't gotten anywhere near Spain yet. So I'm thinking they'll probably skip La Coruna totally today and get to Vigo tomorrow. The AIDA cruise ship departed Hamburg on the 20th on a 3-segment sailing, which is part of a much longer 27-day transatlantic voyage with multiple embarkation and demarcation ports, such as the Canary Island, Dominicana, and Barbados. Okay. Now, we gave you the update on the weather. Let me run over all of the cancellations from the weekend and today. First of all, the latest one was Carnival Luminosa was unable to set sail on her planned itinerary yesterday due to Cyclone Lola north of Vanuatu. Instead, the ship will be following an alternative itinerary that is still being confirmed with ports of call in Queensland and Willis Island to still stay well away from the rough weather. All 3 ports, first of all, on the Luminosa, that, of course, she sailed from Brisbane, Australia, and that she was supposed to go to New Zealand, and that's probably going to change. But anyway, they at least announced that there's changes going on. So over the weekend, all 3 cruise ports in the U.S. Virgin Islands were closed and under port condition Zulu ahead of Hurricane Tammy. Ferry service in the islands was also suspended due to the rough weather as the storm passes immediately to the east. Ports will reopen after the storm has completely passed and assessments are made to ensure each port is safe and fully operational. Not many ships were sailing in the immediate region of the storm, but the Norwegian Sky and Norwegian Joy both had itinerary changes, including visits to St. Martin to avoid the hurricane's impact. Celebrity Silhouette's return to Southampton yesterday was delayed by about 12 hours due to Storm Babette, affecting the embarkation of the next sailing. The Celebrity Silhouette's next cruise will be transatlantic as the ship repositions to Florida and skips its stop in Ponta Delgada, Azores. The new itinerary includes departure from Southampton today with stops in Kings Wharf, Bermuda, and Nassau before arriving in Port Everglades on November the 2nd. And on board that ship will be my buddy Nate, who I thought was going to be on the Meraviglia with me. Oh, well, I mean, that's okay. But anyway, that's what's going on there. All right, some bad news for Cozumel goers. A popular beach club is increasing its day pass pricing, which will likely impact prices for cruise ship shore tours as well. Resort visits are a popular choice for many travelers, and for a limited time, prospective visitors can take advantage of current pricing and lock in savings before the rate increases. The Nachi Kokum Beach Club and Water Sports Center in Cozumel is raising its day pass rate to $69 per person beginning November 1st. That's a $10 increase from the current pricing of $59 per person. All right, a Carnival guest was assaulted on the Carnival Magic over the weekend on its return voyage to Norfolk. Friday evening, an assailant attacked a guest with a bar glass in the theater. The victim had to receive medical treatment in the ship's medical center. The assailant was confined to their room for the remainder of the cruise, with a security team member posted outside the stateroom door. Upon the ship's arrival in Norfolk yesterday, the FBI and local law enforcement boarded the ship. The Carnival security and medical officials cooperated fully in the investigation. There was no formal word if an arrest was made. I have a feeling it was, but that brings you up to date on that one. And finally this morning, this is, I know, a rough picture, but that's all I could come up with. A Ropax ferry ran aground in southern Sweden, resulting in a diesel spill extending over several kilometers. Fortunately, all 75 passengers on board were safely executed. The line's Marco Polo ferry, which was a 1993 built, became stuck in the south of Karlshamn early in the day, as reported by the Swedish Coast Guard. In a statement, the Coast Guard confirmed that the ship had leaked diesel fuel for several kilometers before running aground. The presence of thick fog in the area complicated efforts to assess the full extent of the spill. Maritime authorities have initiated an investigation to determine the cause of the accident and whether any breaches of maritime law incurred. That kind of sounds pretty serious to me. So, and maybe it's just because they say, a breach of maritime law, and I go, ugh. All right. That wraps up to the news portion for today. Let's go see who's fussing in the chat room. Of course, I mentioned that Hot Air Tom is here from the 23rd floor of the Intercontinental Hotel, West 44th Street in Manhattan. Had a good time with Bruce and some of the Bruce people Friday. I went to 2 shows yesterday, 6 and Back in the Future. Said the effects in Back to the Future were excellent. Steve's with us out in Kentucky. Hey, Steve. Shout out to Cindy watching at home on the 52-inch television. Hey, Cindy. I don't know if Hot Air is going to bring you anything from New York, but he's going to be on an airplane, so probably not, knowing him. Mike's with us. Hi, Mike. Hot Air Tom says, yawn. Why, you're bored with the show? My flight Friday was at 7:15. I got there so early, was at the gate prior to the 6 a.m. flight to Newark. They were nice and gave me a seat on an earlier flight. Wow, went to A1 in first class to 17B last row. Okay. I did have 2 seats to myself, though. Steve said the Tron ride, I heard, has an accessible car they can add for those in wheelchairs. Yeah, I've heard that too, Steve. But I promise you, it ain't going to be me in my wheelchair. But that's due to the yellow streak that goes from outside my left shoulder to outside my right shoulder. I'm scared to death I just barely will get on a hobby horse. And that's about it. Maybe the bumper cars if I can get close to them to get in one of those. But that's all. Unless I'm on water. Now, the water rides, like even the ones that are like a roller coaster but in water, that doesn't bother me. But up there in the air, no. You. Not me. I have trouble taking pictures even of those things. With that huge eye in the side of the ship, it should have seen the crew member. Yeah, that's a good point. Emily's with us. Hello. That whole situation a little bit bothers me that there was so much discrepancy from what AIDA said, openly to what someone on board the ship said privately. That was a pretty major discrepancy there in the reporting of that one. And Hot Air did say he enjoyed both shows. I'm glad the ship made the guy stay in his cabin. Yeah, me too. I'm glad you said that, Chillie. Tony did not say that. Yep. Amy's with us. Hi, Amy. Nikki is now on a ship, but I don't remember which one. Mariner of the Seas, I think. I didn't get anything from Nikki this morning. Did they sell today or yesterday? I don't remember that either, Tom. I need to take Chillie on a parasail trip when we cruise. Yeah, probably not. Yeah, no, I don't think so. I don't think so, Tom. One, that thing's not going to land close enough to my damn chair. Yeah, so no. Ain't going to happen. There's Joanne. Hi, Joanne. Tardy to the party. Happy Monday, everybody. Absolutely. All right, guys. Just to go over everything, remember there's no show on Wednesday. That's a traveling and a sailing day for me. Not what I like to do, but I'm doing it all on the same day. And then getting on to Meraviglia. I hope that my friend Ria is still on the Meraviglia. That's my favorite bartender at sea. She went home to the Philippines, and I never got a message that she came back. So I'll have to check that out. She was up in the Jungle Bar. That was her bar on the Meraviglia on my 2 previous cruises with them. But I'm looking forward to that. Also, I'm looking forward to doing a real good study of the MSC ships because, quite frankly, I have improved what I do and what I look for and how I report it now and how I know what to do now with when I have problem ships, on making ADA complaints now. I was not aware that that was even a possibility until just recently, and it most certainly is, just like an ADA complaint on a facility in the States, because if a cruise ship sails from the United States ports, they must be ADA compliant. So that means a lot of the things that I fuss about now gets put on paper and turned into the ADA folks. If a ship tells me this, they've got a time frame for the repairs like they did on Sapphire, I'll buy that. I'm not going to file charges on Sapphire when the man met with me and said, okay, here's the plan we've got laid out. Boom, boom, boom. And it's everything on my list was going to be taken care of. So yeah, no, I can live with that. What I can't live with was like the Nordam that wouldn't talk to me. So I probably should have filed paperwork on the Nordam. I mean, I could always go back and do it now, but I'd like to do things on a timely fashion. So, all right, guys, that's going to wrap me up for today. No show Wednesday. I'll be back on Thursday. Of course, I'll be here tomorrow. And I'm also going to meet with the Passion for Cruise Solo USA folks tomorrow after the show, hopefully to get another or 2 hosted cruises for next year. And if they don't come through pretty soon, then I'm going to have to go on and do something on my own because I don't want to lose my schedule and lose, I've got to let Will and Scoot Around know where I'm going to be in my schedule. So, there's more depending on it other than, Passion for Cruises dragging their feet. So anyway, I'm going to see how the meeting goes tomorrow. And I'll see what I do on that one. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for today. As always, smash that thumbs up button. That'll be helpful. If you haven't subscribed, please take this as my invitation to subscribe and hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when I go live or when a new video is up. And I'll be doing lots of both for the rest of this month and into November. So you'll want to keep up with all the exploits. All right, for now, this is the old fat travel guy. Stay safe, stay healthy. Think about cruising. Hopefully one day soon we'll all get together on the high seas. Have a great day, everybody. See you tomorrow.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie's Cruises.